But that was just him. You know, signing that black contract, even when I had bad times, I could never do wrong anymore. Because I've signed a blank contract, trusted him, and he's trusted me to sign it. And that's the bond, straight away.
That was probably the car contract.
Yeah.
You know, sorry, that's such a good story, that is.
Was that
amazing. And
was that a fair contract? Was that fair?
Was you happy with that?
Were you happy with the 500?
Yeah, because you know, as players, you have a little chat with the people who are same age, right? So Stoney and Scotty Gemmell and all that. They were all on 500 quid a week. Yeah. Because all played in the first team. That was the standard, that was it.
That was exactly the same with us at United. He gave us all the same contract. He gave us £4,000 signing-on fee, £210 a week year one, £230 a week year two, £250, £270. All got a Honda Prelude. We all got the same contract. I think 8 of us. Similar
principle. That throughout your career, didn't it?
Pardon?
Throughout your career, didn't it?
But all your stories, you've warmed towards them, have you? Like
I loved it.
You've no nastiness towards them, have you?
No.
Like a lot of players could look at that and go, hey, it was bullying, or it was out of order, but you
no,
a lot of love for
because
it, don't you? Yeah.
I just he changed my life. So he gave me my debut at 19 against Liverpool. So I always look back as though that man changed my life. So I don't know any players or ex-players. What I do find fascinating is the amount of ex-players that want to know what he was like. And he'll never go away. He's never going away.
100%. Piercy could do what he wanted, couldn't he?
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Yeah,
Well, Percy's got
of course.
stories as well.
Well, the best one, Piercy, remember he said to us about when he got called in for England, and Brian Clough called him. Like Piercy, I was a younger player, but Piercy had a lot of power. He's captain of England.
Yeah.
But he'd be still on his case.
Yeah. Remember
Did Piercy got called up for England, and the manager pulled him in? Piercy said the story before, and the manager said, "Do you think you're good enough, for England?" And Piercy was like, "Piercy's obviously buzzing. He's got called up for England." And he says, "Yeah, I do, Gaffer." And he went, "I don't think you are. Now get out of my office." That was to Piercy. Piercy obviously tells it better than me. That was Stuart Pearce, just keeping everyone grounded. Don't be getting carried away with it.
There was a story with the iron as well, wasn't there? Where when Piercy played non-league, he was an electrician by trade, and he used to get an advert in the programme. Stuart Pearce, electrician, and the gaffer spotted it, like, hadn't he? So he's obviously thought about it, and one day he's walked in with a shopping bag, and the ball that I said that was on the towel, he's knocked the ball off and put the bag down and stepped back and said to Piercy about the electrician. What's all that about? On page 9, Stuart Pearce, electrician. If Barbara's light bulb goes out and she calls that number, you're not really coming, are you, to change it? No, my brother is. And then he walks over to the bag and he pulls out an iron and he said, "Barbara's iron's buggered." He says, "If you don't mend it, you ain't playing Saturday." And Piercy mended the iron and put it on his desk.
God.
So it's madness, honestly. And he goes, "Where do you think you're going?" So he goes, "I'm going home." "Where's home?" I said, "I live in Barnsley." He said, "My house tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. Bring your boots, and it would help if you bring your gloves as well." Long story short, his son, Simon Clough, was the manager of a team in the Derbyshire Sunday League, Division 5. And they haven't got a goalkeeper on this morning. So I've gone to his house, not knowing what's happening, with my boots and gloves, thinking, why am I here? What am I doing? Yeah. And his wife, Barbara, answers the door. She said, "Come on in," and Brian's upstairs, he'll be down. So Brian Clough comes in the kitchen in his house and he said, "Thank you for agreeing to play for Simon's team this morning. They haven't got a goalkeeper and I thought you'd do." So I ended up playing for his son's Sunday League team, Coventry the day before, playing as a ringer in his son's Sunday League team. I hardly ever touched the ball. It was just like bring you back down to earth type of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And the team got fined, a record fine for playing a ringer, which was me. They got the points taken off them. They got fined 50 quid, and Cloughie took the 50 quid out of my way.
No way.
He made me pay the fine.
That's because obviously you were getting carried away by saying, "See you, lads."
Yeah.
Overstepping that level playing field.
Brilliant how he's recognised that instantly.
Yeah, that's psychology.
Was he shouting at you during was he watching the game?
He was watching the game. So...
And that's the next part of your career now, is it? You do the after dinner. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I talk about him with, like, passion and
Yeah.
And love.
Love, man.
and love, yeah, because he was such a. I don't know whether he knew what he was doing half the time, like, but just like, yeah.
But it was
like-
tough when you don't know. If you was he tough? Yeah, I know you were saying he gave you a couple of days off after the Blackburn game, but there must have been games where he went, hey.
Yeah.
He was tough.
It
on
was
us,
tough,
wasn't
yeah, tough.
Yeah, what was he like after a defeat?
No,
He played mind games sometimes. If you got beaten, he's going to go after you, and then he'd go the other way and go have a few days off. And then if you'd won a few, you'd go, hey, listen, a couple of days off. And he'd no, you're all in tomorrow. So he'd definitely be playing mind games.
I know I really looked after you going back to see your family in Ireland.
Yeah, always. But also tough with me then.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well. Obviously,
yeah.
the incident with me, you with the Crystal Palace goal where he
Yeah.
punched me after the game. So he'd be like, he'd give me days off and he'd be brilliant with my
punched
family. Yeah, it was no.
That was my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened?
It was my fault. It was back pass. He left it a little bit short. You was actually charging me down.
Was it me?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think it was, you know.
Wouldn't have been a good thing.
No, but you were good with your feet. You kind of shanked
Yeah, good
it.
left
Shanked
foot,
it.
great left foot.
And I'm looking, and honestly, it was like slow motion. You know about not upsetting the manager, because we all love Brian Clough. He gave us a chance like Norm did for me. And I remember John Salako gets it, and I'm looking at Norm running back. John Salako, what would he be, 45 yards out, right?
Easily.
I'm looking
At the
Norm
City Ground,
going,
wasn't it?
Norm, get back.
No, he didn't get in there.
He's fucking not getting there. I swear. And as soon as I hit the net,
But how does it go? How was that end up being a punch?
because he blamed me for the back pass, and it was the cup game, so then I went to a replay, and he was like, he wanted the game done and dusted there. And I think he ended up going to, was it 3 replays or something? Was that the same
like
one?
that, yeah.
So the thought of having a free week, and I've got to go to London, all the way to London to play Palace in the cup game that we had at 1. So he blamed me after the match. Obviously, I don't think you said much after the game. You were just let me take the rap for it. And he just punched me in the chest, yeah. I don't think he said much. You did he? Did he?
No, nothing. I'm like, I forgot away with that one.
You almost punched
He
him.
punched me as well.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he punched me at Villa away. We drew 1-1. I saved a penalty from David Platt, and obviously wasn't a bad result. You're buzzing after the game. And at Villa Park, the tunnel is down at the bottom corner. So I'm waiting for Nigel Spink to come down to shake hands as keepers do. I've shook hands with the referee as he's walking past me. Next minute, he grabs me and says, you remember the stairs were like that?
Yeah, Villa.
Get up them stairs. So I get in the dressing room and I'm like watching him like this. I'm like, what have I done? I haven't done anything wrong. Anyway, I goes and gets where I'm getting changed, and I'm taking my shirt, I'm taking my shirt off like that. And as I've got to about there, he's come for me. He's hung my shirt on the peg and started like digging me in the stomach. Like, what are you doing? If I ever see you shake hands with a referee after a decision like that, son, I'll do more than punch you in the stomach.